Hey, welcome back. I am so excited about this next week, creating supportive rhythms. So, hopefully, as we've gone through the first 2 weeks and just really being able to bring more awareness to self, bring more awareness to and observe our habits, and talking to ourselves a little bit better already. We are going to dive right in to this next phase or this next week, which is even more so continuing those supportive rhythms. And so, what that really means, right, is like we want to do things in life that make us feel good, that support us, that perpetuate um, the feeling, the radiance that we know we possess. And so in this week, we have basically, you're going to go through that whole intro, you'll watch this video, you'll go through that whole introduction for creating supportive rhythms. You'll do your morning body embodied affirmation or embodiment affirmation, adding in anything else that resonates with you and especially is aligned with this week. And so we will again have couple exercises, so we're not overwhelming ourselves, we're not creating this unrealistic finish line or this end result. um we're not going to see that in 8 weeks. So we want to be patient. Every step is a part of the process, and the process is the journey, and finding a way to really, live in it and feel in it. So we will have we'll be initiating a morning sunlight practice. So it's so important for us to, anchor in the day with sunshine. It's like we want to be a ray of sunshine, so why not start our day with some sunshine? Now, of course, depending on what part of the world, what climate, where you truly live, can, hinder. I mean, I know for myself, I had lived in the Caribbean for 15 years, and I had no problem finding sunshine anywhere and everywhere in all times of the day. And then I moved to basically North Florida about a year ago, and I really hadn't lived in the States in 15 years. And oh my God, I was like, what is going on with this sunlight? Like, I am a solar panel. I fuel on my cells getting sunshine. And especially when I was used to getting sunlight at 6:15, 6:30 in the morning. And then in North Florida, and I'm like, the sun doesn't even like come up until about 7:30 in the morning. And so I was already like on my way to work sometimes, and it's like, wow, I did not get that, sun gazing time into my eyeballs and anchoring in, that whole cortisol concept and thyroid and all the other hormonal, energetic, cellular, like, blessings from the sun. So we are going to implement a morning sunlight practice. So every morning within that first hour that you wake up, and whether it's with your tea or your coffee, or you even take your pup or, for a walk or something, just really being able to like stand in the sun and let it just like wash over you from the top of your head all the way, depending on what time of year it is. If you can, if you can be out there in shorts and a t-shirt, that's fantastic, because it really does set the pace of the day, and it's so vital for us, and it elevates your mood. So we're gonna implement that this week, and that's something that you're gonna take through the remainder, hopefully, of your life, provided that the days that you can get out there and get 10 minutes or a little more of sunshine directly on your face and into your eyeballs, is going to make a huge shift in just how we show up energetically. And if you can do one better, take shoes off and stand in the grass and really allow that grounding concept to happen, to discharge any, inflammation and those positive ions that don't really serve us, and absorb those negative ions. that do. So yes, the morning sunlight practice, very, very important. I'm very excited about this one. Um, then we're going to have a body awareness mapping exercise. So ultimately, when we're moving through life and we're not as aware of, our physical state or our mental emotional, where we really stand in our sovereignty in ourselves. um it's nice to take that step back again, right? So this is kind of leaning into a little bit more of a physical practice of just being still and feeling every inch of your body energetically and internally, and witnessing, where do I hold stress, where do I feel maybe congested or tense, where is it that I'm harboring some emotional aspect and experience. So just even becoming more comfortable feeling in your body, your physical self, can tell us a lot. There's a lot of information around like emotional referred pain or just the tension that we carry. I mean, all of us, these days are feeling something in our body. And so with these two exercises this week, it is kind of taking it into a little bit of again, an anchoring in that sunlight, and then being really aware of where we feel things in our body, and you might not even be able to like explain the feeling. We're not supposed to, be sitting here trying to explain away why. We just want to feel what it feels like and where it is. And that can give us a lot of information. And as we move into these next exercises, and then especially into phase 2, when we get really into the physical body, we'll be able to reflect back to this, and we'll notice if it's a trend or a pattern, or if it was maybe just for that moment when we were mapping out that body awareness exercise. But ultimately, we're here to just strengthen the mind. We're here to strengthen awareness and self connection, and leading into greater, deeper self love, and that true embodied radiance, where it's like, oh my God, I just love showing up for myself. I love knowing myself so much better, because the better I know, the better I do, and the better I serve myself and exactly what I need. So I again am so excited. This is week 3, even though I'm trying not to put numbers on things. But yes, and so again, we'll do our daily assessment each day. And then at the end of the week, we'll do our weekly reflection assessment. And then we have our show up and show out. So whatever that might be for you this week, if it's the same thing too, do not hesitate. If you happen to be having this consecutive like feeling in this, it's like same type of win, share it. There's no reason to shy away from it. It does not have to be new every single time. It's the win that counts. And if this is what's showing up in your life and making you feel good, then we want to know about it, because I want to support you in it. And I know everybody else in the community wants to support you in it. And so there's no wrong way to have a win, or to show up and show out. So definitely, ladies, I am looking forward to continuing this journey with you. I feel personally, even the things that are going on in my life. I don't want to get into too many of those during these intro videos, as I will when we have our Embodied Radiance gatherings, and we get to share a little bit more openly or on the feed, because real life is happening. And as much as, I'm coming to you as this like member of this community, but yet I'm making these videos to help facilitate each week. I am definitely still going through some stuff. So, and it definitely, it can be a lot. So I'm loving this whole practice and this whole journey with every single one of you. So I look forward to our next Embodied Radiance gathering. Definitely keep your eye on that calendar. Each week that we are having the Embodied Radiance gathering, it should be at the top of the community, and just the next meeting date, the next gathering date. And yeah, and we'll just go from there and, shine bright for ourselves and for each other. And I hope that you enjoy this week and all of the practices. Do not forget to keep the practices from each week prior in your life, right? These are layering techniques to help you continue to practice. Life is not perfect, and we do not get to just flip the switch and say it's implemented, it's done. If we're not practicing it, we are potentially, right, allowing it to drift away and it gets put on the back burner. But that's the beauty of how this program is structured. You can always go back to week one, you can always go back to week two, you can go back to your reflection assessments, you can go back to the practices and exercises and continuously remind yourself that these are things that we are practicing. And hopefully, as you are feeling good in these practices, it's something that you're excited to do. Again, I cannot wait for the future and next week with you. So I will see you then.